Morning everyone, welcome to the channel. Just a quickie this morning. I'm just sitting here on the patio watching the sun come up over the horizon. There you can see it's just touching the top of the house at the moment. The sun, it's just working its way down, here. It's really nice just sitting here in the morning watching it come up slowly. You can listen to the birds, have a coffee, work out what I'm going to do for the day before I leave. Talking of which, I've got to go off to a supplier's this morning to get some plastic 40mm pipe. I went into two places yesterday, big places as well, the equivalent of B&Q's or Wickes, those type places. Both places, not one bit of 40mm pipe. They had 32 and they had 50mm pipe and all that sort of stuff, but not a single piece of 40mm pipe. And I've been finding it frustrating over the last several weeks, or couple of months, three months really, since the lockdown started. It seems that places have not restocked for quite some time. I had a nightmare trying to get flux the other day, which I'd been trying to get for weeks and weeks. I ended up driving about 200 kilometres to try and find a small tub of flux. And this morning I've got to hang around because the places I'm going to go are not necessarily like proper builders merchants. They're DIY sheds. Places I've got to go now to try and get this 40mm pipe don't open till 9 o'clock over here in France, so I've got to sit around for a couple of hours waiting for these places to open, and consequently I won't actually get onto the job till close to 10 o'clock, which is a bit frustrating because I prefer to get started early, to be honest. If I don't get out and get started, I tend to have a bit of a slow day. I find it hard to get going, you know. I'm up early every day, generally up around 5:30 every morning, 5:45, and I'm up, ready, and I'm out. I don't hang around. I sometimes watch the sun come up, as I say. You can see it creeping down behind me now. But yeah, it's frustrating. Places have not been restocking. Obviously, stuff must be coming in from China or somewhere where stuff's been quarantined at ports and they're not stocked up. I mean, one place completely run out of 16mm copper pipe, you know, and this is one of the major suppliers in this particular area. Completely run out of copper pipe, not a single piece of 16mm copper. Thankfully they've restocked on that, but everything was running low. Tools on the tool racks and stuff like that, you couldn't get a handsaw, you couldn't get a hacksaw. Claw hammers, they had no claw hammers at all, completely empty. And even yesterday I was in there picking up some stuff. I needed some 8mm washers and they didn't have any 8mm washers. They had 4s, 5s, 6s, 7s, 9s, 10s, 12s, 14s, not a single 8mm washer. And I just don't understand how a company the size of what I was going into can run out of stock like that. You know, even in normal times, to be fair, they don't seem to have any real stock control. They always run out and have none before they refill the shelves. It's always been a problem, but it's worse now, because when they run out, they can't fill the shelves because they've not got stock into their main warehouses. It's a real frustration here when you're trying to work and you're trying to get a job done. This job I'm doing is overdue now. It should have been finished some time ago, but with the 2-month lockdown, everything's been put back. I'm not making any money on this job. It's costing me money at the moment, money that I don't really have. By the time I get paid, all it's going to do is pay me back what I've paid out, to be fair. Me personally, I'll pay the guy that's working with me. He'll get his wages, but the amount of fuel I've had to fork out for, and that in part, the extra fuel that I've paid out for is in part caused by the fact that we can't get the materials. You go out, you don't have a fully productive day. You know, you go out, you're driving around to various places, bearing in mind, you know, there's 30-40 kilometers between stores here, because, you know, one big store in a town, and then there's nothing, they've not got what you want, you have to drive on to the next town. You know, you end up using a hell of a lot of fuel and then still don't get your materials, and then the next day you've got to do it. Plus, by the time you get on site, it can be 10, 10:30, or like yesterday, we left site yesterday at about 3:30 and drove to 2 towns, to 2 different shops to get some stuff. We got some of the stuff we needed, we got the bends and stuff like that, couldn't get the pipe. You know, so we left early yesterday, we're going to get in late today, so consequently the job is taking longer and longer and longer. And the longer it takes, the more times we have to go there, the more fuel I have to pay for. And as I say, by the time I invoice the guy, the client, and he pays, and I pay my partner in crime, the money that's left that goes into my pocket is really just going to pay back what I've paid out on fuel, and my expenses over the course of the job. What I had allowed for as wages pretty much doesn't exist anymore. So I'm making a loss on this one. I know that's business, that's contracting. I mean, it happens, but it's frustrating, you know, in these times. You know, I'm trying to set up house here, so I need some money. You know, work has dried up a little bit since Corona. The work I was doing before Corona has dried up completely. I'm not getting any of that anymore. So it's difficult times. I'm not going to moan too much because I'm healthy. You know, it'd be unfair of me to moan when I've got my health. I'm just frustrated, really. It's not really a moan, it's just venting some frustration. The fact that part of the problem of me not making any money on this is the store's not restocking, and I know it's not their fault. I know it's just the circumstances we've all been put under with Corona. I'm not blaming anybody, it's no one's fault really. I'm not one to start throwing blame around, it's just circumstances. Everybody reacts to a circumstance, and you know, some people get it right, some people get it wrong, some companies get it right, some companies get it wrong. You know, it's just, you know, you can't get it right all of the time, you know. So that's it really, just a bit of frustration as I'm watching the sun come up. As you can see, it's coming down onto me now, it's quite nice. Yeah, just a bit of frustration this morning really, sitting here having my coffee, sun coming up, so that's really nice, but I know that I'm getting into work late. I still don't know if I'm going to get the stuff I need. I might have to go on to a second shop somewhere else to try and get it. And the annoying thing is I only need about 4 meters of this stuff just to start finishing off. I mean, I'm trying to finish this job off in the next, you know, over the next week really, but finish the main job off, then do a bit of snagging, you know. And it's just frustrating. I'm so close to the end where I can draw a line under this job and be finished, because I want to spend a week here at the house getting jobs done on the house. I've still got to point up the top there and paint up the top, you know. So yeah, I'm babbling now. I'm just babbling. I don't know what's going on. I'm not making very much sense, I know, so sorry about that. But anyway, I'm going to get going because I'm going to finish my coffee. I've got to get going soon, and I'll catch up with everybody soon. I hope everybody's staying well and keeping well. Still keep your social distancing up, it's still very important. Masks when you go in the shops, I must admit, a couple of times I've walked in without a mask, but I do carry my mask all the time, and I do wear it most of the time when I'm in the shops. And I'll see you all soon. Stay well, everyone.